Congressman Justin Amash taking to Twitter to criticize Senator John McCain. Here's how it went down. McCain tweeted a joke about Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad wanting to go into space for his country. McCain said, wasn't he just there, referencing Iran's recent launch of a monkey into space. Now Amash, a second-term Republican from West Michigan, tweeted, "Whoa," to which Senator McCain wrote back, "Lighten up. Can't everyone take a joke?" Then Congressman Amash replied, "Maybe you should wisen up and not make racist jokes." The McCain camp had no further comment. It's been more than a century since the RMS Titanic sank to the bottom of the Atlantic, yet the stories of the legendary ocean liner and its demise still captivate people all over the world. It's something that West Michigan has been waiting and talking about a long time. The traveling Titanic exhibit will finally make its way to the Grand Rapids Public Museum this month. But isn't it interesting that you've done so many stories and we've talked about so many times since it became legal, it's become almost more difficult to get anything through than when it wasn't legal. And I wonder if the state is at some point thinking, boy, maybe we should have rethought this thing before we put it onto the ballot and let everybody vote on it, because it's never ending. A week or so ago, we were getting a lot of lake effect, which is very light, very fluffy. You just kind of brush it off the car with your hand. We had some slippery roads. This stuff is wet. It is heavier. Is that causing different problems for the crews?
It is, because it actually packs onto the road. So as traffic gets on it before we can scrape it off, it turns to ice. So a
girls basketball coach in Detroit arrested after shooting two teenagers who he says were trying to rob him. It happened Friday night outside MLK High School in Detroit. The coach, an assistant with the girls team, says two armed teenagers tried to rob him while he was walking two players to their cars. The 70-year-old says he didn't do anything until the kids allegedly pointed their guns at the girls. That's when he fired back, killing a 16-year-old. Now police are searching for answers, and the boy's mother is left asking why.
We getting ready to go to the game. We getting dressed. I said, okay, go ahead. They got their jeans on, their shoes, and they was happy.
The woman says her son didn't have a gun. Now the other teenager was shot in the stomach and is listed in serious condition. The coach is reportedly a reserve police officer and has a permit to carry his weapon. The prosecutor's office will determine whether he'll face charges. Police in Detroit expected to wrap up their investigation into that deadly I-75 pileup this week. The big crash happened this past Thursday during slick and snowy conditions near the Schaefer exit. 3 people were killed, including a brother and sister from Canada. Several others were hurt, including a Ferndale woman named Heather Ramsey. She and her dog had to be taken to the hospital after surviving the chain reaction crash, and she says the whole thing still feels like a nightmare.
Literally the blink of an eye, it just changed. I was lucky. We were lucky, and some people weren't, and some people are still dealing with injuries.
The parents of the 2 children who were killed and their other sibling are still in the hospital. Again, police plan to release their report on that crash sometime this week. Staying on the east side of the state, some people there are thanking a soldier for his service by giving him a new home.
And I love this. This is when you find your favorites.
And when the feuds really start, too.
I don't like the feuds.
Come on, you gotta like the feud. Somebody disses somebody, like your guy a few years ago, dissed a little kid who was crying, Scotty McCreery.
I know, he's mean. I like people to be nice. Still, why is that? Oh, never mind. Still.
Well, a very funny name has been added to the cast of Anchorman 2.
The sequel to the greatest documentary ever, it was a documentary, right? Will include Kristen Wiig. Director Adam McKay and co-star Christina Applegate, a.k.a. Veronica Corningstone, both tweeted the good news out. Not sure yet whether the SNL alum and Bridesmaids star will have a featured role or just a cameo, but it's rumored that Wiig will play the love interest of brilliant meteorological mind Brick Tamland. I guess he loves more than lamb. Anchorman 2, The Legend Continues, will start shooting next month. It is slated to premiere December 20th. Don't act like you're not impressed.
I can't wait for that.
I don't think anybody here can wait.
I think everybody thinks our jobs are like that, so it's pretty funny.
Our jobs are like that.
We don't rumble with the other stations and alleys, though.
Watch out. I know basically 4 of her songs, and she sang all 4 of them.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of hers, but I thought she did.
What about Puppy Bowl? We all agree we enjoy the Puppy Bowl.
So cute.
Who is the biggest cat fan on this couch right now?
That would be me.
I tweeted Doty last night.
Yes.
Are you watching the Kiddie Bowl?
Did he respond?
But at that point,
did you record it?
I didn't know that the Puppy Bowl started at 3 p.m. and then they showed it on a loop, so I tuned in later and made sure I watched the Kitty Halftime Spectacular.
Pretty cute.
I gotta say, the kittens were cute, but I think the puppies won out.
Oh, they were so cute.
Oh, and they had a bird or a chicken tweeting updates on
I didn't
Puppy
watch
Bowl
too
as
much
well.
of it, but just enough that
it was good.
I need a puppy.
Yeah, they got the inspiration for that from the Yule log. They said they originally just wanted something that people could shut off their brains and
my
have on in the
gosh.
background. And now they've got a sponsored stadium. They've got a blimp. They used to have Harry Callis do the announcing, and they get
it's so great.
7, 8, 9 million people watching. So good for them.
cute.
And hopefully
Cute
the dogs all get adopted,
There's
too.
so much on TV, though, you can shut off your brain these
Not
days.
your weather forecast.
Not at all. Riveting.
This is
Yes.
brain engaging. This
Riveting.
just gets the gears turning.
Yep, we've got some good news from the weather.
So I call Shoreline.
A lot of people are understanding that right now, but a lot of people have
Yeah.
no clue. That is Sweet Brown. She made viral video history after interviewing with a TV station in Oklahoma about a fire. That's the video of the original right there. Now she's doing commercials spoofing her original performance. Sweet Brown is now advertising for a dental office. If you got time for that, you can watch the whole thing at fox17online.com. That was inching near 1,000 hits already, and
Yeah.
it had only been on our website, that is,
Yeah.
for a very short time. There are
Yeah,
some
it's good.
people in our newsroom that really, really like her.
I really, really like her.
I do, too.
So funny.
There are people in our newsroom, like our assistant news director, who uses that phrase every chance he gets.
I like it though. It never gets old. For me, it never gets old. I think
Well,
it's
when
really
he says
funny.
it, it's very annoying.
Well, we were talking earlier in the newsroom, how many times do you get somebody at an interview who's a little different,
Yeah.
but they're not quite different enough to go viral
Right.
like that?
Yeah,
I've never had anybody who's had a catchphrase like that
and
and then think, oh, I should put that in the story.
Yes, and I like that she's, willing to spoof herself. I think
Yes,
that's
she was,
really
absolutely.
she was on
That's
Tosh
great.
before, totally
Yeah,
doing
that's
a
right.
whole spoof.
That's right. Yeah, she's great.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, we've got a good start to the weekend on the way to West Michigan.
We do got time for that.
Yes, we do.